Is this the end for Lewis Hamilton? Father Time finally caught up with Sir Lewis Hamilton. Has he lost his raw speed and pace in qualifying? Welcome back, guys, to another video of race number 1. Let's go! Alright, guys, let's just jump back to yesterday out in Monza for the qualifying, and more particularly the post-qualifying interviews. Lewis seemed very dejected, very frustrated, right? I know he wears his heart on his sleeve. Lewis expects so much of himself, and this is why he is a 7-time, arguably could have been an 8-time world champion, is the amount of pressure that he puts on himself. And I think Fred Vasseur mentioned it earlier on in the week, saying that even when he was in F2, sometimes if he had a bad performance, he'd hold his hands up and say, yeah, I was terrible today. There was nothing wrong with the car. It was all on me. And we saw a similar thing yesterday out in Monza. Right, the car is quick. We do know the Mercedes car is quick. George managed to prove it. He even managed to get P3 yesterday. And Lewis ends up in P6. But you could just feel the frustration. And Lewis openly stated that, his qualifying performances haven't been great. And is it just a case of that this is a changing of the guard? We've seen this with previous world champions, that qualifying is always the first thing to go. Race pace, Lewis is 10 out of 10. I don't think there's a better driver out there in terms of race pace and race performance. Now, qualifying hasn't always been Lewis's strong point. Obviously, a few times he's been out-qualified by his teammates, and even Valtteri was a teammate. But it feels like he feels he should be outperforming George in qualifying, or doing a better job than he is currently. And is his reaction slightly amiss? He's mentioned that, he tries to drive a car and he pushes the car when the car doesn't like to be pushed. And is that where it comes down to? Is Lewis overdriving the car too much or driving the car too hard? He says he's been trying to work on things, but ultimately, he obviously hasn't been working out. Where is the route forward for Lewis? Obviously, he goes to Ferrari next year. What's going to happen there? He's only got 8 more qualifying sessions left this year with Mercedes, and he's probably looking for it to get done as soon as possible, which is a shame because it's sad to see one of the greatest struggle so much in qualifying. Anyway, guys, drop in the comments below your thoughts on Lewis Hamilton, and is there anything else that can be done to help improve his qualifying position or his qualifying pace? And also, what is your prediction for the race later on today? Drop your comments below, and I'll get back to them in the comments.